What is up, everybody? Yeah, I'm driving. God damn, that's an ugly fucking view of me. That's a fucked up angle I got this thing at. It is what it is. Hope everybody's having a good weekend. I'm gonna tell you what, and I've taken and interviewed so far Squirrel, Ashley's review. Ashley's so sweet, man. Like she's absolutely such a sweetheart. Ethan from Innocent American, nice dude again. Same thing with Josh, after work reactions. Like that cat right there, I could definitely have a beer with him, beer or two with him, or just sit and shoot the shit with him for as long as possible. I've got something set up. I'm gonna be interviewing Embrace the Suck 21 come Tuesday. But you'll take and see the interview for Innocent American on Monday. Tuesday, I've got my buddy Stodgy Paladin reacts. Now, a lot of y'all haven't heard of him. He's new in the game. He's actually, he's family pretty much. Like, he's still marriage and all that good stuff, but he's still family. I've actually worked with him and all that good stuff and real outside of YouTube. But, so you'll see his interview on Tuesday. Now, I'm giving it this Memorial Day weekend before I reach out to more folks. I have reached out to the Matthews fam because a couple of y'all have actually told me to reach out to him. I'm going to be honest with you, Matthews fam was one of the reasons why I actually started doing reactions. So I took and moved away from doing beer reviews to reactions. Him, Simba TV, Arctic Kicks, and No Life Shack. They're the reasons why I took and stopped doing beer reviews. I've been watching them. Oh yeah, you got that nice little freaking exhaust system. Took about 3 or 4 miles per gallon off your gas, but anyways, it was loud behind. But the other reason I've been watching them, all of them, for like a year or two before I started even doing reactions. But I see a lot of y'all like Ashley Burton, Amanda Ray. Now I did take and follow Amanda on Instagram, and I will be reaching out to her. I know it was a little bit sparse this week as far as reactions are concerned. I actually kind of enjoyed the process of the interviews and kind of doing the deep dives and stuff like that. And I did just release earlier the video Red Hot Chili Peppers, Everybody Dance Now. I enjoyed that. I'll be doing more reactions again next week. Definitely hoping everybody's having a good day. I don't know how much of this. Yeah, we here in town right now. Oh, good Lord. Yeah, we here in town right now. About to take and get some stuff for groceries, animal foods, and get some vape stuff and get some stuff to kind of declutter around the house. I tell you what, it's that time of the year around here. We've constantly got to have the AC going, man. It was like 92, 93 yesterday with a heat index of 101. It's still May. Normally you see that about second week of June before you take and get the heat indexes like that. But it's global warming bullshit ain't no joke. Of course, and again, in April, we did have the coldest April for a long time. It felt like winter for real in April and March. Like normally March, we get 1 month of winter, and that's like February, because you still get 70-degree temperatures in January around here. Oh shit, I done failed. Yeah, you'll still get 70-degree temperatures in January around here. February, it can go into like 30s and 40s, and then cut back around to March, and it starts going back up in the 60s and 70s. We was in the 40s and 50s all the way through April, which is definitely different for us around here. But it was nice. It was nice. It's the reason why I tell all of y'all I wish I had y'all's weather. I'll be like, I'll take and do the Celsius to Fahrenheit conversions. It'd be like 50 something there and raining. I'll take the damn rain. Like, we'll take and get 3-4 months at the clip without any kind of water around here. If you want to talk about some dry stuff, well, you got 2 limbs that rub together the wrong way for too long, and you get a fire around him. So yeah, I'll take and talk to y'all once I get outside the vape store again. All right, so we're about to run over real quick to Wally. Of course, fuel level low. My wife never takes and checks the fuel, I don't think. We about to run over to Wally World. the most evilest organization in the world, or at least that's the way it feels with, you know, how piss poor they pay a lot of their associates. I say that they have gotten better on it, but still, like, they took away a lot of benefits, and it's the one place to go to shop here. Unfortunately, it's like the biggest place to go here to shop where I'm at. I'm hoping I can find a truck that is set up in what's called the Carolina Squad. Now, if you've never heard that term, or if y'all don't have people that thankfully do stupid stuff like that around where y'all live in the UK, count your blessings, because what it is, they lower the back end, they got the front end still at the same level, or even jacked up a little bit, so it looks like a dog dragging its ass down the road. That's exactly what it looks like. Hoping I can find one here in the parking lot to take and show y'all an example of, because I find it ridiculous. And again, it might just be, you know, the old man on the lawn type mentality I've got. These darn kids. Because back when I was growing up, everybody had lowered, we all lowered our, you know, everybody had lowered trucks and airbags or hydraulics and stuff like that. So had that had redneck lowrider culture going on around here. It was, you'd have lowriders and Hank Jr. playing out of them. So see if I can't find one. I don't know. I have to look after I get out of Walmart, because got a closed parking spot. That don't normally happen. Finally out. Good Lord, that was almost 2 hours. So let's see if I can. Hopefully I see one of those trucks with the Carolina squat to it, so I can show y'all. If I can get some. I'm reading about a second book to start reading right now. I'm reading on IBM and the Holocaust, and it talks about how IBM took and worked with the Nazis. They even had stuff set up there in Germany. They had a subsidiary set up there in Germany. Their counting machines and their data machines are how the Nazis actually extrapolated data on how many workers were needed for the different places. Just a real interesting book, and I find it interesting that IBM has not been taken to task. Neither is Coca-Cola, or Jeep, or Ford for that matter, for helping out the Nazis during that time period. The other book I got, and Trevor Noah, Born a Crime. Now, I don't agree with every one of the man's viewpoints. Let me back out real quick. I don't agree with every one of the man's viewpoints. He makes some good points here and there. He's very funny and engaging, though, and I'm more interested in the story. So this is a sort of, it's like a autobiographical, that's all, folks. Autobiographical account of his childhood in South Africa, which I'd like to read. So you never know what you'll learn about somebody, regardless if your viewpoint lines up with them, unless you read something, maybe even hear conversations, you know, interviews and stuff like that they've had. But I think one of the things is highly, with the advent of the internet, one of the things is just, it's not as utilized as it once was as print media, books and magazines and stuff like that, especially like autobiographical stuff, because then you can take and get little nuggets and tidbits that come out in different ways that you're not going to take and realize if you listen to like somebody in an interview or something like that. But I always listen. I love listening to people's stories, because people's stories is the makeup of them. And regardless if I agree, disagree, anybody with any kind of level of intelligence, I enjoy taking and actually learning a bit about, because there's something that you can take away regardless of anything. I gotta get some gas real quick. Alright, so we got gas on the road. So yeah, that's Like I said, even if I disagree with somebody's viewpoints or a couple of the viewpoints, there's always something to be learned from people. I mean, I take and listen to, I'll take and watch people like John Oliver and Bill Maher and like Jordan Peterson, even like Steven Crowder and folks like that. Like, I take and listen to them. I'm not going to agree with everything, and you're not supposed to. I mean, a lot of those fellas have some fucked up viewpoints on some stuff, and it doesn't matter what side of the aisle they're on. But you never know what you can learn from people. So, like, I know a lot of damn phone. I know a lot of people don't like Trevor Noah, but he's I find some of the stuff he says funny. I find some of the stuff he says insightful. I find some of the stuff he says ridiculous. But I figure there's something I can learn, or at least it'd be a good story to take and maybe have an insight on his mindset, how he is now. I'm hoping I can find one of these trucks. I don't think I'm gonna see one of these trucks. It's crazy because normally these things are out. Like, I know what it is. Most of these fuckers don't shop at Walmart. They shop at these high class places where they buy their Costas and they buy their deck shoes that they walk around in. They're Instagram rednecks. They're Instagram country boys. So the same way you got like Instagram rappers, you got Instagram country boys that are they might live in the country, but they, are towards the country. They might be in between the country and the city, but they are city boys at heart, and they're living off of daddy's money a lot of times. They got daddy's money, taking and buying their stuff for them. Or they know somebody, and they got themselves a decent job to start off with, which, hey, I can't knock you if you're working, but if you ain't, you representing something you aren't really. So that's everywhere, I think. I don't know why I'm rambling. But still, it's a beautiful day out here, though. I'll tell you like that. Like yesterday, the sun was out. Yesterday the sun was out. It was hotter than hell. Today it's overcast and it's cooled down some, which is nice. So it's funny. Normally I'll take and wait during the week to actually try to do a ride along or something like that if I'm going out to town. But and for anybody wondering, this is only like the second time. This is Milo's sweet tea. It's only like the second time since I started drinking the hot tea that I've drank sweet tea. I was just in the mood for it, but it's funny because normally I try to do this during the week. Like, my wife would be at work, I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna keep the car, I'm gonna try to take and go somewhere, and I'll do something out and about, do video. And it's been a hot minute since I've done one, but it's just too pretty of a day. So, and I'm not really in the mood to be listening to the radio right now, so I figure, why not? There's some of this that y'all aren't going to see because I'll be editing it out because it's boring as hell, or it's just rambling as hell. Or I could just upload the whole thing. Who knows? Tell you, I'm looking forward to doing more of these interviews, and I'm looking forward to. I'm going to try a couple of either not so much maybe the full episodes, but like the highlight parts of some of these shows and stuff like that. As far as putting them on the channel and stuff. Because y'all been asking for it for freaking ever. But I have seen, like I said, I keep my ear to the ground pretty well. And I've known TAF 316's out there. I've known, Josh from After Work Reactions was out there. And I've seen what they were doing. But I also noticed the Patreon for Josh. I don't know if TAF has a Patreon. I haven't looked too close at his stuff. But I know the struggle. So the fact that he's able to do it, both of them are able to take and do it, I'm going to try it. I don't know with what yet, but I am going to try it. But y'all are also going to start seeing me doing more music. And it's not going to be specifically just UK grime, which Impact, Reds Man, I meant to have y'all stuff up today because we've been working together forever. Same thing, Lines. We've been working together forever. My apologies. I let things get away from me this week. Y'all stuff will be coming out next week. And Reds Man, I might just go ahead and do might just be half your EP at first, and then the first time, and then the rest of the second time. So, but I am gonna be looking at more music, like even like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, or I would take a look at Thin Lizzy and their version of Whiskey in the Jar, like I did with the Dubliners. But I read in the comments of the Dubliners, oh, I forgot about this, or I love Thin Lizzy's version. So I went and looked at Thin Lizzy's version. Absolutely love that version of the song. Absolutely love it, because they've not only got that rock edge, but they keep the soul of the song within it, which is really cool. It's still got like a folksy type feel a little bit. Really cool to see. But more stuff like that, and more of my grime that I started the channel with, but also still with a comedy. And there's some historical stuff I'm gonna look at as well. So, but 53,000. It's, man, so crazy for me still to think 53,000 subscribers. Right? It's so cool to have been on this journey. And at this point, everybody's, oh, it's a genius idea with the interviews and stuff like that. And I don't look at it so much like that. Like I got into reactions because of watching reactors. But I've noticed that there's a whole lot of communities that, number one, work together in the reaction community. Like, really, unless you're a rapper and a reactor, like, it really doesn't happen all that much. So, or you produce like Joey Nato, and he also reacts and does bar breakdowns and stuff like that. Like, you don't, or even like We Scheme and stuff. I mean, like, you don't really see it a whole lot within the reactor community itself. So I was like, let me reach out to these people, and I'm gonna take a reach outside the American Reacts, like as far as like people that label stuff American Reacts, to other American reactors, but also to some British reactors and stuff like that, because it's still a community. We're all still part of a community. There's no need for all of us to be on an island all the damn time. The other thing is, I like learning about people. It's something that I've always enjoyed doing. I've always enjoyed reading biographies or watching interviews, because you never know what kind of personality you're going to get. You see one thing on screen, and then you take and get them away from their normal format, and you can get it can go one of two ways. You can get somebody that's really intelligent, really insightful. That's so cool to see. Or you can get somebody that what you see is like, that's definitely, it's a cranked up version of them. So that's one of the things that I'm enjoying also about this, is getting to know people. And I'll be honest with you, I'm probably going to try to as long as people will answer back, y'all going to take and get interviews every week, like as much as possible, because I'm enjoying this almost as much as I do with the reactions. Because I love the process of finding the video, either finding something I think will be cool to react to, looking through my comments, taking and finding stuff that y'all actually said, hey, react to this, or taking and being like, well, that's trending right now, maybe that can take and help with stats. Because that's, anybody that does that, they take and react to the trending stuff. They're doing it to take and try to see how it boosts their stats, especially if it's outside of what they normally do. It's called an experimental thing, because you do reactions for three reasons. You do it for your subscribers, you take and do it for growth, and you do it for experimental reasons. So you see a reactor reacting to something that's not normally on their channel. That's what they're doing. They're taking an extra, trying to find something. They're doing something experimental, take and see how their subscribers will take and react to it. They might do it another time or two, like Squirrel kind of does, and if it hits all right, they'll do it, they'll add it in, but it won't be like a regular type thing. Whereas, like, and I've been doing this more, but I mostly do stuff for y'all, for subscribers, because y'all recommend it. So if y'all recommend it, I do it, and then I don't worry about stuff. But I'm going to start doing stuff also for like growth, so like finding new subscribers and bringing the community, because I think that's necessary. I think it's necessary. I'm happy with my community. I love y'all, But I also think it's important to take and continue to grow that community, bring people in that, you know, like the message of loving your fellow man, and you know, loving yourself, because then you get a whole lot of people that are looking out for each other and them. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things that it just kind of feeds into itself. So you got people that, you get a community that's all about love, all about looking out for each other, and I think that's important. I don't care really what time frame, but since COVID come along, since the pandemic, I really think that's something that's really important, because a lot of people have been alone through it, and they need to hear stuff like that, because you don't want to ever have somebody feel like they're alone for too long, because then you can get stuck in your head, and that's, for some people, that can be a really bad place. So, I want to take and grow the community so more people, you know, hear the message of be good to each other, love yourself. I think, you know, I want to add more people that are good to each other. So I've got one big loving community, and all about love, and for themselves, and especially for their fellow man out there. So I'm going to take and grow that way, but also I think his interviews is, as much as it was to take and grow the community, I'm enjoying it now. So you might take and see 2, 3, 4 months from now people outside of the reaction community, maybe in gaming, maybe in the beer community, because I come from that, maybe in crafts, maybe in like the prepping, maybe like the camping or something like that community, just as something else. Or maybe I'll take and make a completely separate spin-off channel just so I can do something like that. But I think it's going to go over well enough that it's something I can add, like, you know, once or twice a month, once I get done talking with reactors and stuff like that, because outside of the reactor community, it's still be good to each other, love yourself. So that means, you know, it makes perfect sense to take and reach out outside of the reaction community. That being said, I'm home now. So y'all be good to each other. Love yourselves. Peace.